Now, well, coyote sightings and attacks have become more common this year in several major cities. In Toronto, Vancouver and Calgary, increased reports of coyotes coming into contact with humans or their pets are causing fear and concern among residents in certain neighborhoods. With us this morning is Shelley Alexander, a professor at the University of Calgary who specializes in the conservation of coyotes and wolves. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.
In Toronto, there have been 10 attacks by coyotes on dogs so far this year. In all of last year, there were only 9. Were there changes during the pandemic that could explain why coyote interactions have been more common this year?
Yeah, well, of course, one of the things that happens is people have changed their activity patterns. And in particular, people are home during the daytime. During some of our restrictions that were in place, but also they're using different places than they used before, and they may be going into places where coyotes were actually using quite heavily, or coyotes may have adjusted their movement patterns. And so one of the things that happens here is we've got more interactions occurring during this time period, but also people seeing coyotes when they didn't see them before.
No, that explanation makes a lot of sense. What can the average person do to dissuade coyotes from coming onto their property?
Yeah, well, the research that I've done on this shows there's several attractants that you should think about that might not be on your radar. So things like birdseed and dog food that's left out, or any kind of food that's left out for other wildlife. So sometimes people are feeding things like deer or rabbits, and then rabbits, once they come to that area, will become an attractant as well. Free roaming cats, and then also I found at certain times of the year you have a spike in things like crab apples. Or any fruit from fruit-bearing trees that we should think about clearing off of the landscape. And compost as well, or poorly kept garbage, will attract coyotes into your property.
There's a larger conversation that has to be had about conservation as well as sort of housing development encroaching on natural habitats. But beyond that, what needs to happen to reduce interactions between people and coyotes?
Well, there's some really good programs out there. For example, Coyote Watch Canada that runs, and I use a similar approach, which is it's four-pronged. You have to get people engaged with education, but also enforcement of those things like dogs on leash, absolutely necessary in areas, especially during the denning period, and not free roaming. And then you have to have monitoring of coyote behavior and understanding when those changes occur, and then mitigation that goes into place. So whether it's signage or engaging in active hazing, but not harassment. I'm talking about where you engage with that animal with loud noises or a plastic bag or something like that, or popping an umbrella that reinstills that boundary. But the key here is prevention. We don't want to get to the stage where we have a conflict in place already. And so we do have some control over the evolution of this situation.
Shelley Alexander, thank you so much for this. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.